Welcome to a special edition of the Animated Critics, where we're going to look at the perception of Inception. We're going to find out why this Christopher Nolan film has had the critical and mass commercial acclaim that it has received, grossing $155 million in 12 days. It makes it right on track to gross about $300 million, making this a solid blockbuster for all involved. Why has this film garnered this kind of reaction from audiences?
Well, I think that people have for so long been waiting for the new Matrix to come along. Finally, here's a movie that can kind of deliver on that. I think it has its issues, but I think audiences are looking past that and are, for whatever reason, really buying into this whole dream world and the rules that this movie lays out for dreams, which I have found to be very unrealistic and super hard to believe that this is actually true in any way as it unfolds on the screen before me. But apparently, the world just loves this thing.
Well, it hasn't been universally acclaimed. Audiences have been somewhat polarized. There's the camp that really loves it and the camp that doesn't understand all the gibberish. But I felt like this was more akin to The Matrix 2 as opposed to 1, where it was impressive but very cold and kind of distant. I didn't fall into the spell of this film like most people. I don't think you did either. I respect it. I think it's well done. It's well acted. It's very good craftsmanship. But I think it's kind of, I don't know, sophomoric in a sense. It feels like they could have gone a little bit deeper with this concept.
I definitely feel that the script comes off as being almost the first draft, to me anyways. And they really don't explain enough or go into enough detail about how the dreams work other than just the basic rules. And a lot of that doesn't make a lot of sense, especially when you have Leonardo DiCaprio's character telling Ellen Page's character about how you don't realize dreams are strange or anything until you wake up. But really, most of the strangeness in these dreams, the whole idea is that there is no strangeness, that these people think that they're somewhat awake while they're dreaming. Everything's so perfect, and the architect has done such a great job that you don't even know you're dreaming. So these aren't real dreams.
Well, speaking about its structure, its cinematic structure and narrative structure, I felt the film was at least 25 to 30 minutes too long. I thought they could have done a little cutting, especially during the action sequences in the snow, which I felt went on way too long. It felt like an indulgence by Nolan. You know, this film reminded me of another Christopher Nolan film, Insomnia, with dealing with a man who's obsessed with an idea in that film. It's to track down a killer, and who's having issues of being awake. Is he awake? Is he asleep? Because of the Alaskan daylight time thing. But it reminded me a lot of that, and the confusion of really somebody half dreaming, half awake. And I think Nolan likes to play with these characters of these men that are very obsessed with an idea.
It's interesting that you say a man obsessed with an idea, because that's really every single Christopher Nolan movie. Even if you look at Memento, there's a man obsessed with an idea of finding the killer of his wife. And Batman is obsessed with the idea of his parents' death.
Now, do you think if this crosses the 300 million mark, which it looks like it's on track to do, Warner Brothers will try to somehow come up with the sequel to this?
Yeah, I mean, you could come up with a sequel to this. I've seen a lot of people say there's no way you can come up with a sequel to this, and that's a bunch of BS, because all you got to do is just dream up a bunch of new guys that go out and, you know, invade dreams and steal stuff. It's not just going to be this one group of people who do this. You could create a separate group and create a sequel that way.
If you had to pick one element of this film that you thought was the standout element, actor or scene or anything, production design, what do you think? What did you come away from this film most impressed by?
Well, the one scene that I liked the most was the Joseph Gordon-Levitt character and the Ellen Page character when he asked her to kiss him, in a way trying to incite a little humor and whatnot into the movie, really for the first and only time, in my opinion, in the film. And it was just a neat heist idea. You always have the guy trying to cover up, trying to hide himself in the crowd, and that's his way of getting with the girl in a way, just pretend like they're making out and they're in love, and the cops or whoever's after them are going to go by them. And that was a neat little thing in that movie, and it's something that I wish that I had seen more of.
Yeah, I agree with you there. The film lacked the sense of fun that even the first Matrix had. You know, when Neo went into the subworld and he realized he had these powers, he had fun with it. It was almost like when Peter Parker first discovered he had the Spider-Man ability, whereas there was no sense of joy in this film. I came away impressed from that film by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who I think is a star in the making. The kid has a very peculiar charisma. His off-centered looks make him interesting to look at. He's got a great delivery style, and he's really growing into his own. And hopefully Nolan casts him as the Riddler in the next Batman film. I really think he could be strong in that role.
Yeah, I agree, especially after casting Heath Ledger as the Joker. I think that Joseph Gordon-Levitt would be the right choice as the Riddler at this point. It could really bring something different from the Jim Carrey type role, and just as Heath Ledger brought something different to the Jack Nicholson Joker.
If you had to make a snap decision right now, do you think Inception winds up as one of the 10 Best Picture nominees next March during the Oscars?
Yeah, I would say yes, absolutely. It's already ranking high on IMDb, um, and it's a movie that everyone's seen. I think that all the Academy people have seen it as well, and it's definitely going to be in there.
Well, yeah, I agree with you on that. I think it's going to be in there, and Nolan might actually have a shot at Best Director because a lot of people felt he was left out for The Dark Knight, and this might be the film that the Academy makes up for that mistake.